once upon a time, I mentioned France's relations with Morocco in several videos. Once upon a time, I'm finally going to talk about those relations. Yes, we are talking about the two Moroccan crises spanning from 1905 to 1911. So first of all, what was the initial reason behind these conflicts? If you said that Germany wanted influence in Africa, I have to say congrats for catching up. But if you also said that it was due to France's economic issues, then I have to say you're also right. Both of these countries had interest in Morocco, and the interventions done by both of them led to the Moroccan crisis. So France began trading minerals in Morocco in 1871 after losing Alsace-Lorraine, and impacted France's economy as there was an imbalance of trade. And this is where a country's imports are higher than its exports. This led to France's politicians signing secret agreements with Italy in the year 1900 and 1901, which stated that Morocco would be controlled by France. The Entente Cordiale, which if you can remember, that is Britain and France, agreed that France would have a peaceful mandate over Morocco in return for it to abandon any interest it had in Egypt. So some extra context to this decision, which you know we love over here, is that Britain trades several goods like cotton with India, and a key access route, the Suez Canal in Egypt, needed to be secured in order for this trade to continue safely. This is all again linked to the fact that Britain used its strong navy to protect its ability to trade. See how everything just comes together? But what was Germany's reaction to all of this? Germany feared the rise in French expansion in the Mediterranean Sea and North Africa, as they wanted to show that they had the right as any other European power to control Morocco and other African countries. You know, because it deserved to have a place in the sun. So, there's some background. France is struggling, and Germany is scouting, leading to the first Moroccan crisis, which started in 1905 and ended in 1906. And all began when a certain Kaiser Wilhelm II visited Tangier in Morocco on the 31st March 1905, with the intention to show his support for Morocco's independence. He did this by promising to protect them against the other European powers. However, his actual intention, because nobody can be generous around here, was to increase Germany's influence in North Africa. He very flamboyantly showed up on a white horse and toured the city, where he was accompanied by officials and other supporters. This vivid display of support left Sultan Aziz very impressed. Thus, the Kaiser had achieved his goal. But Germany meddling in Morocco worried the members of the Entente Cordiale, leaving them shocked. Shocked enough to start a war? No. Shocked enough to talk things out and gang up on Germany? Heck yes! But before that, France suspended any military actions in order to prevent any conflict, and Britain was anxious as other countries might question Britain's empire if Morocco manages to gain independence, leading to a kind of domino effect, where other British colonies demand for independence. Think of it like the effects of the French Revolution. Everybody started revolutions after that. So this anxiety Britain had made them encourage France to not back down. Britain, fueled by suspicions, was also worried that Germany would build a naval base in Morocco, threatening Britain's naval base in Gibraltar. This can all be linked to the naval rivalry between the two countries. So in order for none of these speculations to come to fruition, the Algeciras Conference was set up by and took place from January 16th to April 17th, 1906. And its goal was to officiate that France would have control over Moroccan affairs, but every other nation involved was free to trade with Morocco, even Germany. It was attended by 12 European powers and the USA, and 2 of those 12 powers were Germany and Austria-Hungary, who was the only one who supported Germany. And yes, Italy was part. Yikes. But we know that there are 2 Moroccan crises, so it clearly did not work. The second Moroccan crisis began when in March 1911, a rebellion against the Sultan broke out in Fez, led to French troops being sent to help the Sultan quell the rebellion in May 1911. Spain sent some too, but not that important. The real crisis started when Germany, believing that the French had deliberately staged an uprising to send troops to Morocco, decided to send the SMS Panther, which is a gunboat, to Agadir on the 1st July 1911. And their excuse was, "We're just protecting these guys from the evil French. We're not doing anything wrong." So because they were doing clearly something wrong, the Entente Cordiale did this. France opposed Britain's persuasion to not send troops to Agadir, so basically they sent some troops to Agadir. And Britain had to support France's stubbornness due to their rising suspicions that Germany wanted to build a naval base in the Mediterranean Sea. So the aftermath of the crises are both quite similar, so here we go. In the first Moroccan crisis, Germany, as in the German Kaiser, was embarrassed and promised to never back down from any future conflict. In the second Moroccan Crises, Germany backed down. On top of that, it was hit by a financial crisis and was forced to sign the Treaty of Fez in November 1911, where he basically had to forget they were ever interested in Morocco and focus on their newest gift from the French, the Congo. As for the Entente Cordiale, both crises made their relationship stronger, which only led to further divisions in Europe. Both crises increased Britain's suspicions of German militarism. However, it was in the second Moroccan crisis that the Entente Cordiale decided to do something about this suspicion. Britain and France made a naval agreement where the British Royal Navy would protect the northern coast of France from Germany's attacks, and the French fleet would protect Britain's interests in the Mediterranean Sea. This would ensure that the British would dominate the English Channel and the North Sea in case of German attacks, and the French fleet would keep communications open with the French colonies in North Africa. So basically the similarities are quite similar. So that should help out. Of course, as always, we need some quizzes. So, are you ready? Let's go. In what year did the second Moroccan crisis start? 1911. Why did Britain still support France? Oops, sorry, that was a mistake. More like, why did Britain still support France's decision to send more troops to Morocco? The answer is to prevent Germany from possibly threatening Britain's base in Gibraltar. Number 3. Which of the following visited Tangier, Morocco in 1905? Kaiser Wilhelm, Sultan Aziz, or Kaiser Wilhelm II? Kaiser Wilhelm II. Here's a little trick. Which of the following might have influenced the intentions behind the power's interests in Morocco or North Africa? The naval rivalry, economic rivalry, or imperialism? Answer? All the above, unfortunately. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and honestly, I'm actually quite sorry for uploading so late lately. I'm gonna try my best to upload a bit more consistently, maybe an upload every week. My next video plan is something a little bit new, nothing that has to do with history, unless you count past events as history, then yeah, it has a little bit to do with history. But I hope you guys enjoyed next week's video. I'm actually really excited to do it. It's something new. And yeah, so this is me. Here's a nugget. Here's another. And bye, goo!